Hi everybody, Dane here with Stahls. In this video, understanding heat map and when to use artist help, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what the heat map is. And if you take a look at this image, all this pink stuff that you see around here, that is our heat map in action. That is showing you that all the stuff that we caught here with this pink color means that there's a transparency of pixels there. So softer edges or just a little erroneous stuff that I didn't erase maybe when I did the painting, things like that. So what I'm going to do is in this video is I'm going to show you how to clean that up. Now I'm going to show you in Photoshop, but you can use Affinity Photo, you can use Corel Photo Paint, whatever image editor you use, that's fine. You're just going to have to do it with a hard-edged eraser tool when we get there. So this happens to be an image that I painted in my iPad, right, in Procreate. So let's go ahead and go to Photoshop and take a look at it. So here we are with the image open in Photoshop, and if you look at the layers here, you can see we have a crab layer, which is the artwork itself. We have a shadow layer, which is just a small shadow underneath the crab there, and a background color, right? And then a background layer itself, right? Just a color, the shirt color might be. So what we need to do is, if you take a look at these layers here, the shadow layer and the background layer, you can see there's nothing but soft edges all over the place, right? There's shadowy percentages of pixels. That does not work with DTF at all. So what you want to do with the DTF transfer is you want to make sure that you have good hard edges. But if you notice, even back when we looked at that crab, there's a lot of stuff all around the edges there that are not right, and I'm going to show you what those are. So first thing we need to do is turn off these other layers, select just that crab layer, and just zoom in somewhere. All right, let's start over here. So now that we're zoomed in, you can sort of see. Now remember, this was painted very loosely in Procreate, and you can see all these sort of colors here. Like, see this little strokes and little pencil lines and all this stuff on the outside here. That's what the heat map caught. So that's the stuff that we need to clean up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and choose my eraser tool, or hit my E key on the keyboard there. Make sure we have a hard edge brush. So I got a hard round brush here, and I can go around this thing and clean that up. So watch as I zoom in here. You see the percentages here? That's not good. It won't work. So we're going to do this. I'm just going to kind of come in, and I am erasing a little bit of the image here, but that's okay because I'm giving it a harder edge to focus on and to work with. So as I go around this thing, I can clean it up that way. I can also hit my B key if I wanted to brush it in. Again, I'd have to make sure I have a hard edge brush set to my brush. And if I wanted to, I can choose a color or black line or something like that, and actually maybe want to add a little smoothing and go ahead and brush this stuff in. So as you can see, I have a hard line and a transparency. Now, it still may show us some of this little bitty small transparent pixels in the heat map, but once we clean this up, we'll load it in and we'll take a look, see what it's like. Okay, so I completed the cleanup on this guy. So I zoom around so you can see it's much cleaner now. It's got a hard edge around it. There is no fuzzy little things going on. You can't see that there, but I'm going to export this as a quick PNG, blue crab _2, just so he's clean right on my desktop. And we'll bring that guy into the designer and see if it's any better. We're back in a designer, so this is how I do it. I'm going to go ahead and click on this upload your art. You can also do it by the upload button in the blue bar. I'm going to do that, and it's going to say, hey, PDF containing vector artwork is preferred for screen printing. It'll handle all these file types here. I always use a PNG when I'm working with raster stuff. Any of those file formats will work. So I'm going to do this. It's going to read through. Now it's loaded in. So you can keep your original. You can remove a white background. Well, obviously we don't have a white background, so if your graphic did, you might want to give that a shot. Or I can remove all the white. Well, obviously I don't want to because there's white inside my crab. So I'm just going to keep the original, and I'm going to hit next. This could take a minute or two. Just depends on how big your file is. Anytime you see that blue progress bar across the top here, that means it's doing its thing. All right, once we see our image in, I'm going to go ahead and hit import full color, and it's going to bring it in. Now, if you notice, it says I have low image quality. I'm at 299 dpi. My original file was 300 dpi. That's only 1 pixel, so it's probably just something that happened when it clipped the transparency. So if you notice, it's down now just to the crab and doesn't have any extra space around it, which is fine. Now, in order to get to the heat map, we have to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and hit the next button. and it's going to go ahead and move through the process. So if you look over here on the left hand side, it says your image is less than 300 dots per inch, because that obviously is the ideal setting. You want 300 pixels per inch. That means it's a high res file. If you notice, mine was 299, totally fine. You can actually get a decent print with 150 DPI. So depending on what your original is that you're working with, you'll be able to tell what happens. Here's our new image uploaded. And if you look around, you might see a little bitty bit here, and that's about it. So I would say this is going to go, because I'm not going to worry about this. That's so small and such a little bitty piece. It'll never work or translate on my transfer anyway. So another thing I wanted to show you real quick is I can change the color of those heat map things. So depending on the garment color that you choose, you can choose one of those colors in that list there. And all that's going to do is change the actual color of the heat mapping part itself. I like the hot pink. I think it's easier for me to see on most things. One other thing, if you don't want to do your own fix in Photoshop or Affinity Photo or whatever, you can go ahead and click on this checkbox here. It says need artist help and approve for an artist help. But it will be a slight charge for that, but that's one way around it. I hope that helps out on you understanding the heat map in our Stahls EasyView LTE Designer.